Rewild your garden, feeding birds, maintain, help and enjoy. Simply add nature. Feeding birds in your garden is a great way to rewild and encourage larger numbers of birds and different species to come and enjoy your garden. It's also a great way to be able to observe birds at closer range than you might normally be able to. The rspb website has a shop with a wide range of bird feeders and information about feeding birds, and buying from the rspb is a great way to support their work in caring for birds. They also sell bird tables and hanging bird tables and ground feeders, and you can get cages to protect the birds while they're feeding. So we're going to take a look at different foods and different types of feeders and how to maintain them. So first up on the left is a traditional peanut feeder, then in the middle we've got a mixed birdseed feeder, and with a finer mesh for sunflower hearts, and then a coarse mesh for fat balls and suet balls. You'll notice that I haven't filled them up completely. I've judged it on about how much will last for a couple of days, so that the food's always fresh. And try and hang your feeders away from fences and places where cats can get to them if you've got cats in your garden. Providing a variety of food and feeders will help to attract a wider range of birds to your garden. So first up on the bird table is the Niger seed, which is an oily seed full of protein and vitamins and will attract tits, finches, siskins. Next up is whole peanuts, which should only be put on a bird table in winter, otherwise they should be in a peanut feeder. In spring or summer they could be fed to baby birds in the nest, which may choke them. Next we have sunflower hearts, which are more expensive than the black sunflower seeds that have got the husk still on, and they're popular with our bluetits and sparrows. And very popular indeed is the mixed bird seed. That's Johnson and Jeff Selected Wild Bird Food, which is popular with a wide variety of birds. It contains wheat, black oil, sunflower seeds, split maize and a range of small seeds. And an important one for songbirds like the robin, which are naturally ground feeding birds and won't go on a hanging feeder. On the bird table we've got a songbird seed mix, which has got sunflower hearts, split maize and suet pellets as well as other seeds. And finally in the middle I've got a bird cake. It's a suet bird cake filled with fruit, high energy for the birds there. And this is all on a hanging rspb bird table. And here's a robin that's been enticed to this hanging bird table to eat some of those sunflower hearts and bits of crushed peanuts. And here's a blue tit visiting the fat ball feeder, and some sparrows loving that mixed wild bird seed mix. It's the most popular thing that I dish up. And it's also important to keep your feeders and the surroundings clean and hygienic for birds. Bird flu, or sometimes called finch flu, Trichomonosis, has affected large numbers of birds, and particularly affected the numbers of chaffinches and greenfinches in recent years. So every week or so you should clean your bird feeders with about 5% disinfectant or bleach, and it's useful to get a brush, and there's a brush for these hanging feeders. You can get one from the rspb shop. So get rid of any debris first, and don't let the food stay in there too long so that it goes mouldy. Empty them out regularly and keep them dry, particularly in summer months. You may need to empty out and clean out more often. And this may seem a bit of a chore, but the thing to remember is who you're doing it for. And it's recommended to change the position of your feeders every so often to avoid a build-up of debris and bird poo in the same place, which can help to spread disease. And if you do see a bird that you think is affected by a disease or bird flu, then the advice of the British Trust for Ornithology is to stop feeding for 2 weeks to allow the birds to disperse so they're not all sharing the feeder and transmitting it to each other. You should also wear gloves when you're cleaning your feeder, and I was using a pipe cleaner to clean out drainage holes on my birdseed feeder. That was after I'd washed it, but there's still debris there. I should have worn gloves. And after rinsing thoroughly, you should leave the bird feeders to air dry. It's important to leave them to air dry before you fill them up again. And as well as bird feeders, you should also clean your bird tables regularly as well. And they will also have visitors from other animals like squirrels, which may help to spread disease, or rats on ground feeders. And you can get a bird table scraper from the rspb shop as well to help you clean those. And when you're done, you can relax and enjoy the visitors in your garden and the fruits of your labour, seeing those lovely little things feeding up. Blutit enjoying the fat balls there. If you make your own fat balls, use fresh suet or lard, not fat from cooking, because it can contain salt and other things like drained from the meat juices that can encourage bacteria. Fat balls also do better in the winter when they're sort of preserved by the cold. In the summer they can melt and more quickly develop bacteria. And with peanuts, always use peanuts that are for birds, that must be unsalted and often treated so that they don't have toxin in, which can be harmful to birds. For more information and advice, I'd recommend visiting the rspb website. So we hope you've enjoyed this video and that you found it useful and informative. If you have, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions or you've got any comments of your own about bird feeding, leave them in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching.